What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This I'm going to bring you a quick guide on how to save yourself some money when servicing your vehicle. So this is going to be how to change your air filter in your car. I recently had this serviced. Oil and tires is easier to do at the dealership. But the air filter is really easy to do. Anybody can do it. You really don't need any tools. And this is a 2023 Subaru Ascent. All Subarus are the same when it comes to air filters and cabin filters. So we have that air filter for the engine and the cabin filter, which I'll show you how to change both. Save yourself about $50 to $75. We have a Honda CR-V, which is almost similar to changing as this. It does have a few screws here on the top that you have to get to and take off. This is literally just pull it off, take it out, and put the new one in. And I believe they quoted me like $70 to have my air filter changed just for the engine. I think it was like over 100. It was like 125 for both. So I'll just kind of show you how to save some money here. Go through the cost here, both for the cabin filter. So it was $59 total for the cabin and the actual air filter for the engine. So I'm gonna set this down here and then get this repositioned. I always buy OEM parts when I service my vehicle, mainly because I think they're cheap, especially with Subaru and Honda, and it just has worked better for me in the long run. So the simple thing, obviously make sure the car's parked, turned off. You don't want anything moving on in here. So essentially what you're gonna do is just take these tabs off. My wife's has like this box on it where you have to unscrew a few things to get it to work, but it does do that to take it off. So just lift this up and you'll see right here is the actual air filter. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. This is only about 6,000 miles. I usually change mine earlier than I probably should, but we're getting ready to go on vacation and drive a lot with this vehicle. So pay attention to how it goes in. So up in the arrow. So I took it out like this. Actually, took it out like that. So this one, it can only go in one way. My wife's Honda CR-V is the same way, but pay attention to the way you take it out. Make sure that that arrow is always up. So we'll get the new one. I'm pretty close to 2 Subaru dealerships, and they both had this stuff in stock. I've never had issues with getting it. And I checked to get like some Fram air filters, and they were actually a little bit more or around the same price. So I just went with OEM stuff. So you see here, this one's a lot cleaner. There's not a lot of debris and dirt. This one still is pretty clean. Probably could have lasted a little bit longer, but we're about to drive 2,000 miles total there and back. So you just essentially just put it in the same way it went. It just falls in right there. I'll kind of show that again, but it's a really simple process. You just lift that up, put it in there, and it just falls in. And you just put the clamps back. Maybe it's a little harder to put them back, and that's it. So we just saved ourselves probably $50. Again, this is the price. So that's it. Sometimes I'll save my old one just in case something happens with the other one. But that's it for the engine air filter. My wife's is very similar. You just have to take the screws off, and hers just pops out. Hers lays flat like this. So you just pull it out and then put it back in. Maybe I'll do a video on how to change hers, because the Honda CR-Vs are pretty popular right now, or in general. So let's go around and now it's gonna look like, but this is actually pretty similar in the same actual concept. It's a little bit gonna be hard to record, but it's really easy to do. And I'm gonna crank the ISO up here, so sorry about that, but we're gonna have to. So this is a pretty simple process. And so what you do is just take this one out. These filters are kind of flimsy, so kind of be careful with these. So go ahead, and it has an up arrow on it, also similar to the other one. And you just pull this out here, and what you'll do is, I believe the Hondas are the same way, but you'll see there's this little snap thing here. You literally just pull it out. Maybe not as hard as I did there. And then you just push in on the sides here, and just kind of pull down, and it pops right out. And that's it. So you'll see back here where this little white spot is, there's essentially these 2 little tabs. I know it's hard to see, but they're super simple to get. And then you have the cover that comes off. I usually just lay it here on the seat. and then you just pull the air filter out. Again, they're easy to rip, but see how dirty that is? Now, Subaru said this didn't require service, but it looks pretty dirty to me, so I go ahead and change it. And the up arrow always usually goes up into the, for me to see, because I'm doing this in the garage, but you just slide it in just like that. It's just like putting something in the oven, essentially. You just slide it into the slots, you put the little cover back on, and you're done. So it took us a total of, what, 6 minutes to do this. So don't let the dealership overcharge you. This is kind of hard to get back on, so we'll see if I can do that. Don't let the dealership overcharge you. Always check the parts department in your dealership to see what the cost is before you go through and paying them a bunch of money to do it. And that's it. So we changed the cam filter and the air filter. And I always start the vehicle up and I usually drive it around for a little bit, like 5 minutes, just to make sure everything's good, especially if you're going on any type of long trips. But that's it. That is a quick tutorial on how to change your engine filter and your air filter, or your cabin filter. I would like to go through on how to change the oil because it's pretty simple in these, but that would require someone to shoot the video for me. So that's it. Comments, questions, leave them below, and hopefully this is useful for someone that's never done this before, but it's a simple task to do. So have a good rest of the day.